From the galaxies up above and the valleys down below, you are now entering a new zone, the Eggboys zone, in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yolking Around, episode number 4. Number 4. Close to be number 5. We're here. We've made it this far. As you guys can see, I'm not a lonely egg today. I have a vessel to my right
The recruits have come.
and Chanman to my left. He's covering for Yuri. Yuri got sick. No, he didn't.
He's always.
He got sick of doing this. That's what he
Yeah.
did.
He was like, you know what? I'm going to clock in, bro. I'm going to clock out.
I'm going to clock out and he never clocked back in.
No, Yuri's actually a sweetheart because he went to the movies, he said, to see the new Joker. The new Joker.
Oh, yeah, he was looking
The new
forward to
Joker
that.
movie. Have you seen it?
No.
If you have, no spoilers, please.
No. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. These J's and Y's got me fucked up. Honestly, I cannot pronounce them today.
Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix. I've yet to see it too. I've yet to see it.
Yeah, that guy's a particular guy.
Yeah, he's one of those method actors, right?
No, actually.
Well, he says he's not a method actor. That's what he says.
Yeah, he says he's not.
Yeah, a lot of people say they're not method actors, but they actually kind of are like a hybrid. So they kind of tap into that area, but they don't. I don't know much about acting, but that's what they say. They're kind of like a hybrid.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because apparently, I heard Shia LaBeouf talking about method acting, and he does not consider himself.
Yeah, exactly. I've heard something like that.
He doesn't consider himself a method actor. So it's kind of like, I guess, was every actor's interpretation to be able to, and then depends on how good he wants to perform the role that he interprets.
Yeah. Would you say Shia LaBeouf is a good actor?
Oh, I think he's a phenomenal
I think he's
actor.
good. I think he's good. He's a guy
I'm
in
team,
his
I'm
little.
Team Shia. I'm Team Shia. I'm proud to say it. I'm Team Shia.
What is it? I'm Team Shia. I'm Team Shia. Okay. Whatever.
Some people say he's gone off the deep end, Sergio.
I think he's like a phoenix. Like
say
a
that.
phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix. He's coming out of the shadows. I feel he's making his comeback with independent films. He's been in a lot of them. I saw an interview eating hot wings with this other guy, and it's actually a YouTube channel, and he seems to be doing okay, a little better than
That's
before.
good to hear.
Yeah, a little better than before.
So, he did this new movie. What was it called? The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh yeah. That's
or Honey Boy.
Honey
It was Honey
Boy?
Boy. It was Honey Boy. Yeah, Honey Boy. Well, that was
Sounds like cereal.
sounds it from the reviews and from the trailers.
sounds
I've
like
seen,
cereal.
It sounds like a really good, intense movie. It has a really deep message.
Oh yeah. He likes to do things that are like that touch the heart. For
Yeah,
sure.
and he actually became from what I've gathered, is that he actually became friends, a really good friends with his co-star, like actual like real life friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of it. I like bits and pieces about the whole Honey Boy. Is that what it's called? Honey Boy? You
Honey
said?
Boy, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So watch it, guys. It's a highly recommended film.
Like everything we recommend, just
watch it. Just watch it. Tell us, give us your feedback. Let us know if you guys liked it or not.
Chan, moving
Tell
to
me.
you. You went to an art show today. You said.
Oh, I did.
Tell us a little bit about your experience. Because we're little uncultured swine. So, please let us know. Embrace us with the abstract art, or what you saw out there. How was your experience?
Well, originally, I heard about the event a few days ago, and according to what I was reading, I was getting really amped. It said from 2nd to 7th Street, filled with vendors,
Wow.
local art, music. And I'm like, dang, this place is going to be popping. It's going to be so many people.
This is already sounding like a bad story.
So there wasn't anybody there.
Well, no, I'm driving, and there's like no parking. I'm like, holy
Oh, so it's to the brim.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, Main Street is never this lit.
Yeah.
So I finally find a parking spot, Veep, of course.
Oh, for the lay person, that's VIP.
The VIP.
The VIP parking.
No, but I get there and the street wasn't closed off, but a bunch of the art galleries had like cheap painting nights. I think the palette had like $5 painting.
Oh.
There was another place, I can't remember the name. They were selling some of the work of local artists, but I actually found out that tomorrow they're gonna block off the street. So I came a day early, but there was
That's what she said.
that's pretty early.
Okay, so
But it was still very worth it.
did you have to pay anything or?
No, it was
Wow,
free. And there
that's
was
cool.
some
Wow.
live music by the Buffalo.
Ooh, what the music sound like?
By the Silver Buffalo.
It was a duet. There was the lady was playing a violin, and
Do you remember any of the band's names?
I don't. I just heard one song and then kept going.
The Juicy Flowers.
Tried to
the-
avoid eye contact at all
Try-
costs.
the Dragonflies.
In and out.
No, there was some people listening, and then I think there was a business trying to sell something. Always taking
Always-
advantage of other people.
They're always trying to take my money. You know?
What was there a piece of art that kind of caught your eye?
I didn't look too much at the art. I kind of just walked around.
Wait.
Channel-
So let me get this straight. You went to an art show in town, right? But saw no
I didn't
art.
see anything. I don't know why I was not able to see anything. Jenna was checking out the chicas. I feel the fall weather.
Don't expose them
chicas.
like that. Bro.
No, I went with a friend, so I was talking for a lot of it.
So, girlfriend.
A friend that's a girl.
As a female, yes.
Oh. No, so it's one of those days.
It's a good thing that this will never be recorded.
Yeah.
That's great.
Good thing this isn't live.
So it's one of those first dates that you're like, the girl is like, oh, we should go do this, and you're like not into it, but you're
But-
kind of like you're trying to like get her attention. So you're like, yeah.
I mean, we're not
that's
saying
great.
that Chandler did that. We're not.
but
No,
it was my idea to go down there.
Oh. So then
Actually-
maybe she's like, oh, I guess he wants to do some artsy stuff. So I guess I might as well go.
Actually, that's a good stepping stone into today's podcast. Now that we get this ranting out of us, because we're actually gonna give you guys tips for a first date.
We'll go ahead. Yeah, because listen to us, guys, because we know about relationships.
We
I mean,
fuck-
look at us.
We fucked up quite a bit. That's what all I can say. We got calluses underneath because we've messed up a couple dates.
The sarcasm is deep here.
Very, very. Sergio, what's your idea?
Oh man,
I'm gonna put you on the
man,
spot.
It put me on blast.
Yeah,
real
I'm gonna
quick.
put you on the spot, Sergio. What's your idea of a first date for? I'm gonna give you an age group so that you don't go balls deep over here.
You mean whether I have to have a chaperone or not?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you talking about?
We don't want you like,
Second grade.
oh, when I was in the second grade, let me tell you.
hey, you want to go watch Barney together? It'll be great. So, what's your idea of a good first date for teenagers, 17 to 37? No, it's just
17 to 37. Gee, let me see.
I could just see a guy that's 37 say, "Yeah, please let us know."
And there's a 38-year-old guy's like, "Hey, come on, man.
Come
I
on,
wanna
what
know
happened?
too.
I didn't make it to the threshold.
What are
huh?"
you doing over here, huh? What are you doing?"
So now, from 17 to 23, 23, what would be you?
Well, first
what
of
would
all,
be
if you're
your ideal
17, you
good-
shouldn't be dating. Let
First
me
of
just start with that one.
If you're 23, you still shouldn't be dating. I kind of agree with that statement,
Well,
actually.
don't date the 17-year-old if you're 23. That's illegal.
That's terrible. That's
Stay away. Stay away.
Well, apparently it's not said enough because you know people can't understand.
They don't understand what. I'm sorry.
They don't understand that there's some things you shouldn't do, especially when you get older. You know.
Get closer to the mic. Deegan is saying.
Oh, sorry. I mean, just get you just don't learn sometimes. Older people don't learn that there's things that you don't do once you're past a certain age.
Are we talking about the dates?
Yeah, like the dating, yeah.
Like, what's one thing that the older people
Oh.
don't understand? That's what I'm trying to say. I
Yeah.
want you to give me some juice, some feedback. Give
Oh
me
no,
the
I
truth.
think your question was, what do you think my ideal date be?
Yeah. That's the initial question.
Well, I think one of the best things you can do is, first of all, if you have something you're passionate about and there's something that you love to do on a daily basis, I think it'd be a good, if you really like this person, to be able to take them through a day of what you like to do. That way they get to be part of something that you really love and enjoy.
Do you think a first date is a good time for that? Just saying, okay, I like to play soccer. Let's go watch a soccer game or something like that.
But
You think-
something that definitely involves the person, but that something that you deeply care about, something, an activity you like to do together, that you'd be able to, you see yourself doing with them, because that's
Okay.
really what we want to do, eventually find people that have our same interest but can teach us new things and take us to new different adventures and like to do it together.
Right. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of people get this idea sort of mixed up. They do the old school thing where they're like, I just want to take you to the movies, watch a scary movie, try to put my arm around you, and then just see if we can make up, and it's really not.
It's a very 80s movie.
Yeah, that's a very 80s thing. But it's also not very good because I feel like in a first date, you're trying to get to know the person as well. And a movie theater environment doesn't allow that.
Yeah, but this is where I go back to being a little too young, is that you can't expect to learn things about somebody else if you're still learning things about yourself. As you're growing, you're learning new things, you're getting through new experiences, and your state of mind changes. It's always constantly changing, and especially when you're young. There's a lot of stuff we don't know.
That's true.
So if we're looking to understand somebody else when we're still trying to figure ourselves out, it kind of leaves a lot of things vague,
Mm-hmm.
and we just run on what's traditional.
Yeah. How about you, Chen? What would be your, besides your art gallery extravaganza, what would be your ideal first date? Or what would be a good first date for a teenager
Well, before
nowadays?
before I dive into the first date, I'm just gonna drop a few facts for us.
Oh, factual.
Drop the facts.
For some-
Drop us.
from a legal standpoint. So, if an individual is younger than, this is for the state of Colorado, younger than 15, it is actually illegal to have sex with him if you are more than 5 years older. So say you're 14 and dating a 20-year-old. If it's consensual, yes, but
That's okay in Colorado?
there are still stories of parents reporting. It's not okay. You have
I'm like asking, is like that, it's legal here?
So basically, if you're younger than 15 and the person you are with is more than 5 years older than you, it is illegal to
Wait,
have sex.
so if they're
Make it mathematically like easy for me, because 14
So
and
no, so
it's
no, so
fucking.
if they're-
So,
so
if
if
they're
they're
15, you cannot be with someone that's 20 or older. Is
What?
that-
No, then there's a different age group from 15 to 17. If they're younger than 10 years, so say 9 years and 364 days, that's okay. But
what? See, this is.
but here's the loophole. If you're married, the age difference doesn't matter. So you can have a 14-year-old married to a 40-year-old.
yeah, because they get parent consent, right?
Because you're husband and wife. So it's basically assumed consent, and it's legal to have
Right,
sex.
so, but who gives out marriage licenses to that
yeah.
young? The state does.
We'll say, yeah.
What? That is. I'm shook. Wow.
That is crazy.
Okay.
But getting back to the point about the first date, I think, at least for me, I try to do something that maybe I'm not super comfortable with, not a thing I go to every day, not the same coffee shop I go to every day. I rather do something that kind of makes me step outside of my comfort zone.
Ah, okay. So you challenge yourself within these boundaries, right? Like you're like, I'm gonna step outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
right?
because I think it's both interesting for you and hopefully the person that's going with you. It's a new experience, and I think in the beginning, a lot of people are like, okay, don't talk about sex, religion, politics. Like,
That's the one things you don't bring up.
the trifecta.
don't blow it. But I think this comes from some of my past experience. I think it's okay to be more direct on the first date. I think if you're just being honest and really trying to listen to the person and, what are they looking for? What are you looking for? And, does that coincide at all? Or are you guys completely on different paths?
Do you think it kind of, because a lot of people are crazy romantics, and do you think it takes away a little bit when you're too direct? Like if you're too direct, it kind of takes away from that filthy little game that couples like to play.
Wait, what filthy little games are you playing?
The little.
You mean the cute little like?
Yeah, what
let's go with
people like. It's filthy because there's a lot of manipulation.
I still don't know what's going on. What kind of relationship is that? But it's not a health. Kids, if you have that kind of relationship, that is not a relationship, okay? And you gotta get out.
He didn't text me for 3 minutes.
You have to get out.
I'm not gonna text him for a whole 3 hours. That kind of thing. That filthy little stuff.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
So what do you think?
That's just being dumb.
How do you define like what's really romantic and what's actually just being stupid? Like just
that question is I don't know how to answer it, quite honestly.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, should you be straightforward from the beginning? Like, hey, I want you. This is what I like. Sign this contract.
Okay, no. You don't talk to everybody you meet that way.
Of course not.
No,
But where do you find the?
You're just yourself. You just talk to people. You get to know them, and then they get to know you. You treat everybody the same way, with respect and honesty.
Of course, but you're not trying. I get what you're saying, but you obviously have to go a little above and beyond with this person because you actually like her.
Yeah, well, you start getting these feelings developed, and it's okay to be honest about it. Like if the situation, there's always a time and place, and there's always a moment to do it. And whenever you feel like that moment's gonna be the time to talk to them about it, then take your shot.
Okay, so the first date, guys, don't talk about
talk about yourselves, what you want to get to know about the person, because you don't know the person that you're taking out on a date.
That's true.
So you're gonna want to ask a question. Be like, hey, what are you like? What do you like to do? What do you like to spend your free time with?
Talking about like your ambitions. What are your goals? I think.
But it's not an interview.
No.
So tell me,
what are your strengths?
January 23rd of 20.
What's your biggest weakness?
Why do you think you deserve this job?
No, but most importantly, is just to it's always the deep things, and you tend to understand them a lot better as you progress in age. As you age, you get to understand your values more, your morals,
right?
The things that are right and wrong in this world, and the things that you find out you get to be passionate about. So I think once you figure out those things, literally sparking up a conversation with anybody that might have the same dreams and goals, and on top of that, you have an attraction with each other, the thing will just spark, and there's really not going to be you're not going to have to think about it. It's going to come naturally.
Words of wisdom.
A lot of wisdom, actually. Words that you young people and old people need to hear.
Yeah, when I was your age, that's what I treated my lady.
I took Tiffany out to the movies.
We're talking about Tiffany and Company,
Tiffany.
The owner, Tiffany.
Let me give you my biggest jewel.
Was the establishment 1802 or what was it? Date of establishment.
Back when Derek what's established?
Everybody that loves Tiffany and Company are gonna hate me right now for not knowing the date.
I don't know the date. That's like very. That would be
okay.
Very,
so by the way, there's a lot of people who love jewelry that respect and admire Tiffany and Company's work. So men and women alike, they love. 1837. Yeah, that's a long time. Hence the old man voice.
1837.
Want to get on my horse?
Whoa! What? Oh!
They don't got cars. Come on.
They don't have cars.
That was
back
cheeky,
in the day.
Chan. That was cheeky.
Yeah. Get on my horse. Come on. Let's go see the sunset in the prairie.
But anyways, yeah. And point is not to rush. Point is to be honest about everything, and just shoot your shot. If you got something you want to say to somebody, say it. Don't hold back. As long as it's not hurtful or creepy.
Be honest, but not hurtful.
Be honest, not hurtful, because that can lead to a dangerous path. Speaking about dangerous paths, we're gonna switch gears here a little bit.
See, this conversation is getting lost into the next topic we're talking about.
Yeah,
it literally vanishes.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, that deserves a little drum roll. Not drum roll. What would that be called? A snare tap? What is that?
Yeah. We're gonna go with that. I'm gonna take option A, please.
Okay. Please give me option A.
I'll take option A, please.
No, I gotta. Okay, I'm gonna make a parenthesis here. Okay, I have a funny story about that. So I started my new job, and they told me, "Hey, it's your first day. We're gonna get you some food, and for free on us." So I was like, "Cool," and they were like, "So what do you want?" And I'm like, "Well, we can get Chick-fil-A. You know, why not?"
You're like,
oh man,
you're like,
Yeah.
what about some Red Lobster?
Yeah, I mean,
Something cheap,
I mean,
right?
we had bosses do that for us before.
yeah.
But as long as then I was like, okay, remember that time I gave you lunch, man?
I need that back.
I'm gonna take that out of your paycheck, okay?
I'm gonna need that 20
No,
hours
that's-
of overtime.
That seriously happened to me. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They've taken you out to eat and be like, "Oh, by the way, that's
Yeah,
on your
they
check."
they've taken it out of my check because they thought I was like, oh, well, it was on company time. I was like, no, it wasn't.
What?
You stopped work. They said, hey, let's go to lunch. I'm buying, and then you're gonna proceed to keep track of the 2 times that happened, and then take it out of my paycheck.
What savages?
Yeah, there's some mean bosses out there. Don't ever let that happen to you, kids.
Yeah.
There's a public service announcement.
Anyways, I was ordering. I was trying to order, and they were like, "Just look at the menu online." So I was trying to check out the menu, but where I work, there's no good reception, and I couldn't open up the menu. So I was just like, "Okay, Chick-fil-A." I was trying to have these like photographic memory flashback of what the menu looks like.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I was just like very confident. I was just like, "Just get me a number 3." And so
All right.
just get me a
Bold.
just get me a number 3, and then make sure you get that Chick-fil-A sauce on there.
Southwest.
Southwest, no lettuce. So the girl comes back with the food, and I'm like, "So which one's mine?" And there's this awesome burger, and then there's some chicken nuggets. Guess which one was mine? I got the whack ass chicken nuggets, man, and I was just like, "What the fuck, man?"
Number 3, confidently. I would have said the chicken deluxe.
Yes,
The grilled chicken deluxe.
No names came to my head. I don't go to Chick-fil-A. I'm not that bougie.
I think my girlfriend would have said number 2.
Yeah, no. She got number 2, and it was actually a good ass sandwich. And I was about to get number 2, and that didn't happen. Obviously, I got some weak ass
Obviously,
chicken
clear.
nuggets. So, anyways, coming back.
There's nothing wrong with the Lord's chicken nuggets though.
No.
They are bomb.
No, they are good. But I was really hungry. That's the only thing. I was really hungry. So chicken nuggets were not gonna suffice my hunger.
Your ravenous appetite.
Yeah. Anyways, coming back to the whole topic of mysterious places and vanishing episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where things disappear, and I like to call out my dry washing machine. All right, my dry washing machine for taking all my socks. I can never find the other pair of socks, and I'm pretty sure it
That
gets
is
lost
true.
somewhere there.
That is true. You're
There's a
like,
black hole in there somehow that my socks just vanish.
Sergio, what's a dry washing machine?
a dry washing machine.
I'm confused.
This new
Wait,
technology,
wait,
bro. You don't
wait.
even have to put water in it.
Wait. Did a brain fart just happen?
I
Wait.
think it did. Something glitched in your
Something glitched in my neurons right here. My little brain signals weren't going the right way, and
were-
they collided.
Yeah, you were thinking of like dryer and washer machine and combine them. You were like, fusion.
I was dyslexic there for 2.5 seconds. Okay.
So there was a little glitch on the system in Sergio's little system.
I need a fuse. Come on, somebody.
There's a fusion there. Dry washing. It's the new technology, you know. You put it in air, it just cleans out the stains.
It washes it dry, dude. I swear to God.
It's like that ice cream that they have nowadays, the one that is like dry and shit.
Are you talking about dry ice?
Yeah. No.
You can't eat that.
I heard. Yeah, I heard that's pretty dry, fam.
I've tried eating dry ice. That shit burned my tongue.
I think that's toxic, my guy.
Yeah. In Mexico, we tried different crazy things, and that was one of them. We got dry ice for the funds, and I burned my tongue.
Is that something you guys like commonly do over there, or what?
If you're bored. If you're bored and
you just, hey guys, we're bored. You got some dry ice laying around?
you know,
I want some dry ice, please and thank you.
yeah, that's something we used to do. Just play around with dry ice.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. That I
Yeah.
didn't know that. The more you know, guys. Okay? The
You
more
never
know.
did something like that when you were young. Just something completely stupid.
The closest thing I saw was, and I'm saying I saw, was a kid in my neighborhood that ate dirt clays. Just spent the day just eating dirt.
Just this guy.
He makes some dirt pies and then just eat it.
Wow, I bet he shot some good pottery, dude.
I don't know if he ever did. I was able to poop.
Yeah, imagine pooping and then like just forming a nice little pot out of it, just like shaping it into something creative.
Hey, that's a shitty pot, right?
Anyways, tracing back to our mysterious. This podcast is about to get cryptic in the next half hour.
So who's dying?
Nobody. Well,
Who's coming back from the dead?
Nobody's coming back for the dead because they were never found. In this episode, we're gonna talk a little bit about mysterious places. One of them is the Bermuda Triangle and the Zone of Silence, and I think Chandler is gonna tell us a little bit about this plane crash that happened in where? Malaysia, you said?
Yes, the plane was heading to Beijing, actually.
I don't know if you guys remember this. It was hot news
2014.
in 2014, yes. It seems like it happened yesterday almost.
I know. When I was looking at it, I was just thinking, I could have swore this happened last year. But looking into it, the flight left on March 8th of 2014, heading to Beijing. 227 passengers plus 12 crew members have not been found.
Until the day.
Till the day. The search has actually finally been called off as of last year, 2018.
Wow, so 4 years.
Yep, and for over a year, they had no idea. They couldn't find any of the pieces. They were looking for the black box, that has all the communication with the pilots and the airport, the air control. I mean,
It is sorry. I don't
Hit
mean
me.
to- Is the black box? And this is just a general question. Is the black box like a video camera, or I'm ignorant when it comes to these kinds of things. So, what is the black box? Is it just a source of information, or like?
I had an idea about it, but I lost it.
Oh, okay.
from my understanding, it's like an indestructible box that just keeps audio files of communication,
files.
but it's supposed to survive.
Is this
plane crash.
Is this a credible source?
It's my head.
Oh, cool.
It's the it's the interbrain.
So probably not.
I'm pretty
not
sure
very credible.
I'm pretty sure.
Like
read
I
it
said, never
somewhere.
quote us on shit.
Okay, so how do we know that there's not people that know that there's something about the Bermuda Triangle, so they just like book a ticket to the Bermuda Triangle and then like just escape their lives and fake their deaths? Their bodies were never found. Gee, I wonder why.
Like there's a company. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Diana. So the black box in the planes are the cockpit voice recorders, the VCR, and it records flight data recorder. We have 2 tapes of it, digital and analog. If that thing, okay. Flight recorders used to record the audio environment in the flight deck of an aircraft for the purpose of investigation of accidents or any incidents. Oh, okay. So it is, yeah. Your brain is right.
Not
It
too
is,
bad, baby.
The black box is actually not black, actually. It's very orange.
I'm kind of mind blown.
You're expecting a black body.
Yeah, it's like orange. I can see it. Or maybe that's just a
disc.
version of it.
But what I was asking is about the story.
Well, there's been a couple theories. Some say mechanical failure. Some have pointed towards pilot suicide.
Like somebody was driving or
like the
flying this
pilot
plane.
killed himself. Some
that could happen, you know.
proposed hijacking, but that pretty much has been rejected because the plane was not heading towards a terrorist site, quote unquote. But
okay. Like a dangerous zone, basically hot zone or something like that.
but still, as far as I know, they have not come to the conclusion for the exact reason of the plane crash, and they've only found 27 pieces of various debris ranging from the cabin to the wing flap.
That's crazy, man. Not one single body found. Not even the whole plane has been found, bro. This is what's crazy about that. They've literally found pieces of this plane, but
So
they haven't found the whole thing.
So how do you know they're not pieces that float from the vast amount of sea
What?
that just end up there?
They did find one, I think, and they said because they suspected that the plane actually crashed in the South Indian Ocean, a little bit off the coast of Australia. And then I think the first piece was found like, I don't know, don't quote me on this either, 2,000 miles. I'm throwing a number.
Don't quote me on it.
2,000 leagues out in sea.
It was found very far from the suspected plane crash on an island. So it likely did not crash on the island, but it drifted there.
Yeah, because that could
So
happen.
you're correct.
And yeah, and I know it has a lot to do with the polar magnetism. So a lot of things can be dragged towards a point.
Well, that's a theory. Yeah, that's a theory that the polarity and the magnetism.
To me, the polarity seems a lot more.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Accurate, more
Scientific, more. Yeah, there's like more juice behind that. There's more credibility when it comes to trying to explain incidences of such caliber.
That's why science is always going to tell you, let's prove it.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Going back to what Sergio said and just kind of like reflecting a little bit on it, you have said that what if there was a company out there that like on the dark web that made you book your flight to fake your own death?
That's the thing, though. It'd be like Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Call back for last show. No, but what if there was something like that? Like you made actually a good point.
I think if we all decided one day to search the black web, we'd find things that we would never think we'd find.
Would you, if they told you, I'm gonna pay for this flight, but you gotta go through the Bermuda Triangle, would you do it? Straight up.
I don't know. I probably would.
Just to see?
Not just to see. It's just I'm going somewhere else. I'm not going to the Bermuda Triangle. But I mean, I can't tell the pilot, hey, turn around. I don't want to go through there. Can you go like around it? It's like, no. If like they know the trajectory, I'm just gonna let them. They're the ones flying the plane, not me.
They have to. They have to go through the thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to disappear, then okay. If they know something I don't, okay. But as far as I'm concerned, this pilot is gonna take me from point A to point B. I expect to get to point B.
Well, it could be point C7. Because what if
man, we're getting musical now.
Yeah. What if you go into this vortex and then it takes you to another dimension? Like a lot of people have said that.
I don't know.
Ancient aliens.
I'll find out if I ever do fly over it.
I would like to try it out.
If I die there, I die there. If I go through like an awesome, life-changing experience, well, then let's go for it.
So for clarification, where exactly is the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, the Bermuda Triangle is actually a combination of islands. So
Okay.
it's Bermuda, and then the other two, I don't know. But
We'll get our research team on this.
so I know it's Bermuda. I know it's in the Caribbean.
Diana, please, can you
Okay, so
get us
it's,
down?
Okay.
Okay, I hear it's coming in. It's coming in. Yes, she is.
Reliable sources coming in right at you. So it's Bermuda, an island off the coast of Florida.
That's a pretty plane.
And Puerto Rico.
If you guys could only see what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. It's just like, it's basically that area.
Miami, Puerto Rico, and
Bermuda. Miami, Puerto Rico, in the Atlantic Ocean.
Atlantic
Ocean. No, but there's been very strange things. You want to know something weird that I found out? It's that apparently in Mexico there's a zone called the zone of silence, la zona del silencio. So the zone of silence, the Bermuda Triangle, and the pyramids of Giza, um, are all aligned in the same. I don't know what it's called, but like if you were to, those maps that show the Earth kind of flat, like they have North America on one side and then Europe and Russia on the other.
Yeah, I heard that. I
Okay.
heard that's a real map.
Yeah.
I heard people really use that.
No, not. I'm not trying to get into the whole flat Earth thing. It's just like a rendition of what the world looks like, quote unquote. So if you were to trace a line from where this zone of silence is, uh, to the Bermuda Triangle and the pyramids of Giza, which are all considered not paranormal but strange zones of there's weird things that happen in these zones, right? They are aligned and they're all in the same meridian,
The same latitude.
latitude. Yeah, there you go. That's the word I'm looking for. But going back to the zone of silence, so I'm from Chihuahua. If those guys, if people out there, what a racist motherfucker!
Yo quiero,
Woof, woof.
yo quiero Taco Bell.
I'm from Chihuahua, and that's a part in Mexico, northern part in Mexico. So if you go south of it, a little bit south of it, there's this place in the desert called the Zone of Silence. And the reason why it's called that is because radio waves are not, they basically get distorted once you enter this zone. So things such as cars, watches, batteries would get drained. So everything that is working on some sort of wave system, it's completely shut down, and there's nothing that you could do about it. So it's a lot of people say it's the magnetic pulls around it, the that affects these kind of things. It's also an area where a lot of meteors land. So something attracts the meteors, and they happen to land in this area.
Yeah, magnet.
Yeah.
Polarities.
There was this. I was reading the story about this guy named Samaria. Let me look at my notes real quick. Let's see. I think it's Sanaria. Oh, Saravia. There you go. Francisco Saravia. So in 1930, this famous pilot was flying over this zone. He was actually trying to break a record. He was going from Mexico City over to New York, and they still hadn't discovered this area. So he happened to pass over this desert, and as soon as he passed over it, he started to lose contact with the people that were trying to keep track of him through radio. So being an avid pilot, his plane started to lose control, but he was able to land it just because of how skilled he was. And that was the first time they had a physical incident happen in this zone, and that's how this zone was discovered. So it was very interesting that I saw. Apparently in this zone there's like the plants tend to mutate, so there's mutations. Animals tend to mutate as well, so there's like something messing with the genetical components that are that are in plants, that are in animals, and all sorts of things. So it's very interesting. I also have another story. So apparently they were testing in Green River, Utah. They were testing a missile, and they shot the missile up. The missile was said to be landing in some part of New Mexico. So the missile got up, and then all of a sudden they lost track of it. They found it, and it happened to land in the zone of silence. That's where it ended up landing. And it was just basically like super misdirected. Like something had pulled it that much in order to land in that area. So it's just kind of an interesting zone that there is in Mexico, among many. But going back to what Chandler has said about the people missing, there's also another story about in Mexico. There's a lot of stories about like weird things happening, and one of them is the subway system because in Mexico City, there's a lot of subterranean things, caverns and such things of such, and obviously they've built these subway systems along those lines, along those tunnels, and they've actually been able to make these subway systems very easily because there has been like previous like excavations from previous um, civilizations. So there was this story that I was listening to, and basically there was a group of people that was riding on this. I don't. So in Mexico, the subway system they go by colors: the yellow, the orange, the blue, and the pink, I believe. So in one of those subway stations, there was around 200. It was like 200 or 100 people riding in the subway, and all of a sudden, these couple hundred people disappear. So they were never able to find the subway itself, nor the people riding in it. And obviously, they have a route. So a lot of people have said that the subway uh, might have gotten lost in like a tunnel system, because there's like apparently there's places that lead you to literally nowhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it
That's scary.
to me, this is what's crazy about this. To me, is it becomes kind of scary to think about hundreds of people just disappearing like that, and just not.
I figured if that would actually be happening, somebody would be wanting to explore the area.
There's stories about people gone down there, basically never coming back. Like they just get
Okay,
lost.
so if that happens, I imagine that the government would get involved and actually have something like to investigate, because there's
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
all around the world that investigate caves, and they just try to keep searching. Like there's a bunch of caves that haven't yet to be discovered and have yet to be fully explored.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, let's say the government did something. Maybe they did. Maybe they did send a team of search and rescue, but uh, they didn't find anything. So that's where, excuse me, that's where this is cryptic. That's where this is mysterious. Um,
So as far as we're concerned, it could be just somebody saying a scary story and be like,
you know but that's the beauty of it. You know, is it real or is it not? If there's something in between, which I always think there's always something in between when it comes to those kinds of stories. Like reality does not um, reach that level of sub-reality. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's always a play on things.
I think you never know something to experience it yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And have you ever had a weird experience like that? Uh, tell everybody if you're comfortable. Tell everybody because we're almost out of minutes here, like a bad phone program. We're almost out of minutes. Tell everybody about the story about the dog that you saw in the middle of nowhere, or not in the middle of nowhere, but driving back to your place.
Oh, yeah. So I had this weird experience. I was driving home one night. It was pretty dark, and I was turning by. I was doing a sharp turn, and then I was going straight.
This was when you had your truck, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had my pickup truck.
I like that truck.
And me too. And I was driving, and I looked down for a second, and then when I looked straight up, there was like this Rottweiler looking type of dog who was just looking at me. He was just sitting there on the street. He wasn't like sitting at us at the side. He wasn't sitting in the middle. He was sitting like right where I'm driving.
Dead center to your location.
Dead center to me. And it was like, and I can't recall seeing the animal move out of my way, but I didn't feel anything.
What? So did you? This is where the part that the fucks me
He
up.
like was like, yeah.
Did you go through him? Like, did you like a ghost? Like, were you able to go through him or?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't really remember what happened. I just remember looking down for a split second, and then looking up, and the dog was just right there, just sitting there, just looking at me like if I had told him to pick that like right dead center of me and sit and wait for me.
Wow.
Like it was just like they're looking at me directly. It wasn't walking by. You know how usually animals, like when they cross by,
they kind of stop or stutter.
They stop, they stutter. They're not facing right towards you.
Yeah, they're kind of like sideways,
less,
right?
Much less sitting down.
Dang.
And yeah, I don't remember it like running away from me passing through.
How late was it? Was it late
It
hours?
Yeah, it was like around 2 a.m.
Of course. The
I mean, it might be completely coincidence. I was right in front of a cemetery, but it could have been coincidence.
But coincidence, a dog in the cemetery.
Yeah, we're not gonna go down the pet cemetery route. somebody just dug old pal in the pet cemetery. Now he's back for more.
The pet cemetery. How about you, Chan? Have you ever had a cryptic story, something that you might have not explained? I know that in Hawaii they have some good stories.
Yeah, personally, I can't say I've experienced something quite to the level of Sergio. But yes, in Hawaii, there are plenty of tales. I think one of the more common ones is about these group of people that they're torchbearers. They're called night marchers. And essentially they're Hawaiian ghosts that many people believe only serve to cause chaos to the natives. But actually, the real purpose, so they say, is that they were to protect the chiefs, or the ali'i in Hawaiian. But they say how you know they're coming is you'll hear the blowing of a conch shell. It's kind of like one of those big shells that people... Yeah, exactly. Hunger Games now.
That actually, it's chilly, dude.
So essentially the same concept, and then you'll hear the beating of a drum, and they're on a path, and legend says that you're not supposed to make eye contact with them or else you'll disappear. And there's been a few people that have been reported missing.
And that's where they basically go to now.
They say that maybe it had been an encounter with the night marchers. And also the legend says to prevent it, it's kind of a silly way, you can pee on yourself or lay down naked and
I think
avoid eye contact.
I think this sounds like an excuse of somebody gotten really scared and they peed themselves, so they made
I
up this
don't know.
story. It was like, hey,
bro, you don't even know. If you pee yourself, it reflects it.
I was trying
They
to
got
protect
scared.
myself, okay? And it worked. I'm still here, right?
I know.
Don't move. I got a gun.
It's silly. It's like when they say if you can pee on a jellyfish sting. I'm like, what? Like,
Hey, that actually works. You pee on
Does
yourself
it?
when you're you pee yourself where you get burnt. You get
Is that a thing?
first, second degree, or even
Huh.
third degree burn. You pee on yourself and it helps it not burn.
so stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
If you go to the ocean.
Don't eat asparagus before dipping in the ocean and getting stung, because you know asparagus and pee.
Doesn't it make your pee green? Eating a lot of asparagus?
No. It doesn't
No?
change.
Oh.
I think that's if you drink too much Monster.
You start fucking peeing antifreeze.
No. Asparagus, the only thing it does is it makes your urine smell funky, like funky. Then then it already does. You know.
Good old fluids.
Very interesting.
Where are we now? Oh, we're almost hitting the 50
We're
minute
lost
mark.
like in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah,
That's where we are.
We are in the 50-minute mark. So, honestly,
I had a lot of fun with you guys today.
yeah, no, it's
Always a blast.
It was very interesting today. I like the diversity that we were able to bring with the whole giving giving advice for younger people when it comes to dating.
I mean, if you do, don't hold me on it, okay?
yeah, don't.
I mean, what do I know about love, right? I'm only 29, so what do I know?
Stay safe, guys.
What do you know? Yeah, just
Yeah.
be safe. Be honest.
And be respectful. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot. like losing respect over people. Just like, well, she's just not gonna put out. Like that's just horrible to think.
A lot of that comes through entitlement. There's no respect because people feel entitled. They think that they deserve it, that the world's handed to them, but it's not.
What do you? Oh man, yeah,
That's a topic.
That's
for
another
another
day.
yeah, that's a
another day.
topic. That's another tortilla in itself. That's another quesadilla for the group.
Okay, let's pull out this quesadilla out of the comal and let's wrap it up, guys.
Okay, well, like always, guys, thank you guys for tuning in for these couple minutes. Not more than a couple minutes. Good old 50
At
minutes.
least 4 minutes, at
Yeah,
least.
good old hour. Anything you? How about your social media, Basil?
It's gonna be Power Surge 2300.
That correct.
That's my Instagram. You guys will find me. Just type in my name.
Power
I'm
Surge.
Power Surge / Vessel. That's gonna be the next stage.
The next stage. How about you, Chan? Your Instagram or your Whats?
Yahoo Mail, baby. No.
Yo, hit me up on MySpace.
On the MSN Messenger.
Isn't it crazy that we used to sit there and just like type in like just waiting?
That's the only thing that prepped me for emojis on phones.
I used to stare at the computer for for
that's
2 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly. You're like, oh, come on.
I was like, is it sent yet? Just loading, sent. Like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, all right. Did it say open by any chance, or
No,
was that not a thing back then?
That was a new technology that probably ruined many relationships.
Does the scene or whatever?
Yeah,
the scene,
the whole beast.
You left me on scene. It became a quote. You left me on scene.
became
Yeah.
songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty sure I heard that line somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But Chan's jams.
Chan's jams.
Two Z's.
Two Z's.
Twosies.
Well,
Two Z's.
two Z's. Oh, what?
Jams with 2 Z's.
Well, CHANZ.
Z.
JAMZ.
Oh, so it's not
Two
jazz like
Z's.
double jazz at double
No.
double J.
Jazz hands.
double Z.
Triple Z's.
Oh my god.
The more Z's means the more thug you are.
Cut him off, man. Cut him off.
Well, like I said, I always try to get this podcast up and running on YouTube as soon as I can. Usually the beginning of the week. You guys can hear the sound probably sooner, obviously on Spreaker or Spotify. It's been a pleasure to be with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the diversity that we had in this podcast number 4. Next week, hint hint, I am gonna try to have an invite. So I'm probably gonna do an interview. So it's gonna be Yolking Around first interview. So stay tuned, stay posted, because that should be a really good interview. Just to sort of diversify the show a little bit and start setting the pillars of what the show looks like and whatnot. But once again, guys, keep watching, stay tuned, subscribe if you guys want. If not, it's okay. Hit the bell notification, and you guys can find me on Snapchat as dmay92 and Derek Mayo 92 on Instagram. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much. Hasta la vista.
Ciao.